Hello, everybody, and warm welcome to the third episode of Autotech, where I have the enormous pleasure of being able to talk to some fascinating people about technology in various aspects of the automotive industry. And today is no exception. Today, we're going to be looking at a space that I think is relatively ignored, or certainly not given the profile that it deserves. And I think the reason being is that motor insurance is not exactly glamorous. People don't go, whoa, yeah, motor insurance. It's not really what happens. And yet it is a necessity. In fact, it's vital to the success and the growth of automotive across the globe. So I think that motor insurance is reliable, effective, efficient, and traditional. But are those the criteria that are necessary in an ever-changing automotive space? Well, I've got just the person who's going to answer some of those questions. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the former CIO of Hiscocks in the UK and the founder of the Camelot network. And many of you will know that the Camelot network is a real hotbed of innovation for insurance, and particular motor insurance. So David Clamp, lovely to see you. Thank you so much for coming along here today. I said it was traditional. And with that as well, however, what is interesting, it's not particularly profitable. So just tell me a little bit about those two aspects, about it being traditional, but also perhaps how can it be more sustainable, because it isn't profitable today?
Tony, thanks very much for the opportunity to come along and have a fireside chat with you. For me, I love insurance because it is omnipresent. It's everywhere in the world, because we are here as an industry to help people when they're in their time of need. And no difference for motor. There are 31 million, or approximately 31 million cars on the road in the UK, and 30 million pounds is paid out each day in motor claims. So we're here as an industry helping you in the time of need. So from that perspective, insurance plays a huge part. But you're right, motor insurance hasn't been that profitable, because lots of people have accidents, unfortunately. So some of the things that I've seen happening recently to try to change that has actually been driven by the pandemic. So the pandemic has driven a need for more digital services, much less dealing with paper, more dealing with communicating with your insurance company over your smartphone, having much richer data experiences, and no paper. But also it's driven an increased degree of transparency. It's my data, I'm going to look after it. And if I give it to an insurer, then I want something in return. So my driving behavior, where I go, times, etc. But also it's also meant that people are working from home a lot more. So my car, for example, has been outside during the pandemic, not been used at all. And so that's changed the dynamic of car usage. So these things are forcing change within the insurance industry, and how they're responding things through using technology a lot more. So a black box or a telematics device, particularly for younger drivers, not just to know where they are and if they've had a claim, but importantly to drive the right behaviors, the right driving behaviors, so that young drivers can learn from what was good driving practice, what was bad driving practice, and really stop the bad things from happening in the first place. Because really the most important thing for an insurer is much less about the premium. It's about reducing losses, reducing claims. Nobody wants those bad things to happen. Nobody wants those car accidents, and not the consumer, not the insurer. So that's been the focus of insurance, to try and get it more profitable.
Okay, so it's not about increasing the premiums, but it is about making it more efficient, I suppose, from a cost base. So is that really what you're saying there?
Yeah, efficient from an operations perspective, much more digital, a lot less paper, etc. But also making it a lot less claims coming in, and those claims that do come in are dealt with very quickly and efficiently. So the cost of processing a claim is reduced, and it's a better experience for the consumer because it's quicker.
Okay, and that's enabled through digitization, but also Can you therefore be more prescriptive? Do you have like a breadcrumb approach because of the digital facility that's in cars nowadays? Is that the route that is going to happen in motor insurance?
I think that the breadcrumb approach, you mean the fact that we can track a car manufacturer can track the location of the car. Well, same, the mobile phone location on your smartphone can be tracked, and if the consumer gives permission to the insurer, then the insurer can know the speed at which you're going, the location, and even with the dash cam, you could look at whether the traffic lights were red, amber, green at the time. So I think it's making it a much more data-rich opportunity, which means that claims can be either prevented, or if they occur, everyone knows exactly what's going on. The data is the data. There's no ambiguity there, and therefore the claim can be settled a little quicker. Okay, so it's quite a change in the industry, but are the behemoths of the industry, and there are a lot of them in insurance, just as there are in the motor industry, are they agile enough to deal with that, or is there a greater reliance of some of the insurtechs, the smaller insurtechs, coming into this space and eating the lunch of those bigger organizations? Well, I think there is a lot of activity in the insurtech space. They certainly, I don't think they'll be eating the lunch completely of the big insurers, but they are helping drive change, or the appetite for change, or they're exploring opportunities in a very agile, dynamic way. So, for example, there's an insurtech called Cover, CUVVA, and they allow you to effectively borrow your friend's car, just using your mobile phone, just for a couple of hours. That would have been unthinkable years ago. Now it's commonplace. Another one, Cora, CURA, they are allowing you to manage your car purely on your smartphone in an app. One app that does car parking, tolls, insurance, servicing, financing, everything on one app. So I think technology is being used by the insurtechs, who can operate quickly and nimbly to try stuff out, and usage-based insurance. So By Miles is another insurtech where you basically pay your premium based on the miles you drive, which is a big indicator of risk. So I think the big insurance companies have got economies of scale, they've got customers, they've got capital, and they are partnering and looking at these insurtechs. And I think the combination of them both will be a really positive impact for the consumer. Great. I mean, I can therefore see that the change in automotive, which is from ownership to usage, actually that can be facilitated through digitization, as you've said. But my final question really is, as the industry changes, the motor industry changes more towards autonomy, the autonomous vehicles, and therefore you're going to have more product liability than you will have insurance liability. How is that going to change, do you think? Oh, that's a really exciting and really good question. So it's rocking the foundation of the traditional insurer, insuring you to drive your car for a year, and it's moving it towards, actually the insurer will be helping the manufacturer, the OEM, ensure their capability, their software, because effectively somebody will be either buying or subscribing to buying some software that happens to have four wheels and get them from A to B. So it will be ensuring the software capability for near autonomous driving, as well as the role of the driver, to the extent they're still the driver. So I think that balance will change and evolve, and I think it's a really, really exciting area. Fantastic. There you go. Motor insurance is exciting. I knew, David, you'd make it exciting. Thank you so much, David, for what you've said here today. I hope that you've all found it interesting as well, and has precipitated some thoughts for yourself and questions. Please put them in the comments below. And I look forward to you coming along and hearing another installment of Auto Tech. So watch out for it. And David, in finality, thank you very much indeed. Thanks, Tony.